Now, let's get into our hot matchups. I'm going to kick things off with my first hot matchup, which is going to surprise you. Well, maybe. It's the Cowboys versus the Jets. The offense looked all right for both of these teams last week, and the defenses absolutely suck. So it's going to be another week, unfortunately, without CeeDee Lamb. But the Cowboys offense was still pumping last week. Javonte Williams had another amazing game, finishing with 23 touches and 100 offensive yards. He's averaging 19 fantasy points per game and over 20 touches per game. I mean, no one saw that coming. George Pickens has been solid this year. And again, CD's out now. So I always prefer, as we've discussed many times, to have two high-level wide receivers on the field. But George Pickens looked really good last game. He's also averaging 19 points a game, stepped up in a huge way last week, finishing with 8 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, we can't expect that again, but if we can get 100 yards and a touchdown, oh, man, I'll take that every week. As we just discussed when we were talking about tight ends, Jake Ferguson, he's the number 1 tight end in fantasy right now. We both got him late on a couple of teams. And Dak, he's been inconsistent as always, but he stepped up last week, and I think he could easily do it again against the Jets, who are an absolute joke on defense. And didn't it feel like every single drive you're just waiting for something to happen? They had like over 100 yards in penalties, and they looked really confused out there. So I think Dak will just be throwing all over them. And if you look at what the Jets did last week, they were running all over Miami. And Brees finished with 20 touches and over 100 yards. Justin Fields finished with over 80 rushing yards and over 300 total yards and 2 touchdowns. And Garrett Wilson's actually a top 5 wide receiver right now in fantasy. He's averaging 9.5 targets per game and 19 fantasy points per game. And even Mason Taylor looked good.
Well, hold on before you get too far. Remember when everybody was fading Garrett Wilson?
I was one of those people. I was one of them.
Were you one of? Okay, because I've been high on him.
I know you have.
But the experts, like all the experts across the board, they all were fading Garrett Wilson this year. And I was like, if they have one target for Justin Fields, that guy is it, right? He's the best player on the field.
And the thing is, what I've always said about him is he's a really solid floor because of the volume. You know, he just gets an obscene amount of volume, so he's a safe floor. I just didn't think his ceiling was going to be that high, and he's looked awesome. So, yeah, I was definitely – I did not want to draft him on any of my teams just because I didn't think I'd be getting much of a ceiling. But I'm wrong.
It's that ballet, bro. He's just tippy-toeing around.
Dude, he looked so good last week, man. And every week, yeah, he's been just a solid player. Even though the Jets are struggling, and some of that's garbage time, he's looked really good out there.
Fuck yeah, man.
And dude, again, like these teams that I just say, like I said, they're on offense, they've got so many weapons, and the defense is the bottom of the barrel. The Cowboys are ranked dead last. They're allowing 420 yards per game. And the Jets ranked 22nd, allowing 340 yards per game.
Pretty bad, yeah.
So this would actually be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. You know what? And what's crazy is I thought the Jets were going to actually shut down. Who were they playing again?
Miami.
Miami.
I thought the game was – I thought the Jets were going to actually come out and look really nasty. Yeah.
But they didn't, man. They came out. They came out slow.
Confused.
Miami won too. So I mean, Mike McDaniels has his job for another week. Until they fire him.
Congratulations. He's gonna have his hands full. They're gonna change their entire offense now with Tyreek. So
yeah, that's crazy. Now for my hot matchup, this is not really surprising, but it's a divisional matchup, right? And we're talking about the AFC East. So it's going to be Buffalo Bills playing at home against the New England Patriots. That's actually something I'm looking forward to. They have, there's not a lot of high caliber, high profile games this weekend, right? Like big teams going up against each other. I think as far as those are concerned, the Patriots have been scoring a lot of points as far as people to pick up on there. I'm not really a big fan of Patriots in general, but one Pat I really am high on, Trevion Henderson, rookie for the New England Patriots. Like he's getting a limited workload. They're easing him in, and he's very productive. Right now, Ramondre does have the lead back role, but it's only a matter of time before he loses it. So I think he's somebody you could also buy cheap on.
I think
And
this is
then
the last week for that. Yeah.
yeah, because after this next couple weeks, he's going to have his breakout game,
Like
and
you
then
just
it's too
said,
much.
they're easing him into that offense. And it's very clear. So, like you just said, like I see that same trajectory where he's going to take over, and it could be as soon as next week. So, strike now if you want him on your team.
And you know, one thing that I tell people, there's a little bit more of an aspect to like football, right, and fantasy football. So you kind of look into the personalities or the teams that are of who's managing them. So, for example, the Patriots head coach is Mike Vrabel, right? Former linebacker. We all know if he has something to say, he's going to say it, right? He's not afraid to speak his mind. So, in relation to how the team goes, if Ramondre Stevenson continues to fumble, he is losing that job, right? Him and Antonio Gibson are just getting touches by default because they've been on the team for the last 2 years
That's
at
how it
least.
feels. Yeah.
And then so they're already integrated into offense, right? But this rookie's kind of getting his touches. You know, they're getting him a little bit here, but they're not giving him enough touches since he's a playmaker, you know? So
Yeah. And I mean, Henderson was the guy last week. He was the one getting involved most. So expect that to just go the same direction this week, and then probably even more so.
And you know, I'm not even a Pats fan. I haven't even talked about the Bills yet, right? Like, so the Buffalo Bills 4-0, Josh Allen, MVP quarterback, right? He's playing an MVP level game, right? Taking what the defense gives him. He's not looking to, you know, rush for 3 touchdowns and probably get his block knocked off, right? He's trying to play a little bit smarter football this year, which I think is finally good news for Buffalo Bills fans. So they're going to continue just light up the scoreboard. James Cook, obviously a trade target. I love this matchup, and it's Sunday night at 8:20, so you know it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, and the thing is, we did mention it before. Like, I do like what the Bills are doing on offense, and it's a little disappointing that we don't get to see Josh Allen scramble as much as normal. But we're seeing a lot more James Cook, and that's awesome. It makes sense. And Josh Allen's still putting up awesome numbers, so it doesn't really matter, you know.
They're going to drop a 50 burger on whoever steps up in their crib. So I think they have to play like the Lions, right? Like some teams just play with an edge. Like the Eagles almost lost that game against Tampa Bay because they called an aggressive game first half and then they called it very conservative. We're not meant to be a conservative team. We're meant to go hard like
True.
any other team, manage the lead, and then, you know, give everybody equal rest. So, you know,
Yeah.
we just haven't been playing the best football lately on defense.
And hey, Diggs showed up last week too. So, you and I were pretty high on him. We knew it might take a few weeks for him to get warmed up, but he looked awesome last week too. So he should have another big game against the Bills.
He did. That's right.
Now let's get into our cold calls. For my cold call, I got the Vikings and the Browns. Although there's a few players I like in this game, I feel like their ceiling is going to be capped by two great defensive units. And the offense for both teams has been inconsistent all around. So I'm not like confident starting anyone this week. Like, even though we saw great games from Jefferson and even Addison came back, and I expected him to, I expected him to put up like double digits, but he had a great game too. And then Jordan Mason, who's a total tank, I'm confident that all these guys will have a safe floor, but I'm just saying lower your expectations. So yeah, I'm playing Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jordan Mason. I'm not really thinking too much about it, but I am lowering my expectations because Cleveland Browns are probably the best defense in the league. And for the Browns, I'm playing Quinshawn Judkins, and that's it. And I know you're not as high on him as I am, and you might be right specifically with this game. That's going to be tough for him, but I think he's going to get enough volume that he'll be a safe start. But altogether, I think this is going to be a low scoring game. It's going to be a grind. And that's why all of these people, if you look at what their projection is, it's probably pretty accurate. Like, don't expect fireworks. And hey, I could be wrong. The Vikings might come out and just, kick the shit out of Cleveland. You never know. But it's just going to be a tough game for both teams to produce a lot of yardage.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with you there. It's going to be low scoring because of the fact of how good both defenses are for the teams. And this is going to be Dylan Gabriel's first start, so the rookie for the Browns. He's going up against the Vikings, defense, which Brian Flores, excuse me. He's coming in with that blitz zone heavy scheme, right? Like he's going to send a lot of disguised blitz packages. He's going to run a lot of zone. And for a rookie to try to go up against that, I mean, it's going to be a tough uphill battle. Definitely. And on the other side, if JJ McCarthy plays, right, is he out or is he playing?
They're pretty sure he's going to be out again. So
Gotcha.
they're looking at Carson Wentz again.
And I'm a Philly fan. I can tell you, man, he looks good for like a couple drives. And then he just fucking makes the most boneheaded plays. And he never goes to the checkdowns, bro. I hated that about him. Instead of get wide open running back on the flat, he's trying to throw the freaking double coverage in the end zone every single time, bro.
Every once in a while, man, he does it. Every once in a while, you're like, damn. But yeah, it's been years season, since it's consistent.
Yeah. 2017, the year we won the Super Bowl, he was on fire, bro. His best year.
That was a long time ago.
Shit, man.
But hey, he did all right last week, so maybe he'll do it again.
Bro, time flies.
What's your cold call? Your cold matchup?
All right, my cold matchup for the week are the Tits in the Cans. They play together, and whatever the hell the name of the Arizona stadium is.
I've been there a couple of times too.
You have?
Yeah,
it's not bad. I'm guessing, right? Yeah. I mean, the only thing I like about Arizona is Pat Tillman, man. That's it. I don't like anything else. But those are two teams, man. Like if you were saying something about Trey Benson being possibly injured, right? Like that could be, that's going to impact Cardinals offense because we know Kyler Murray still has trouble. He needs somebody to pick him up on his shoulders so he can see over the line of scrimmage and then pass the ball.
He scrambles out there, man.
Bro, but he's not like, I don't know, man.
Well, I know. He'll even talk about it. Yeah, he can't see over the lineman sometimes.
Bro, Marvin Harrison Jr., right? He has a case of the drops. And then obviously with, Trey McBride, right? Like he's going to see a little bit of a regression because now he's getting double teamed, right? So not only does he have either the safety or the slot cornerback on him, now he has a linebacker too. So they're really playing him a lot differently than they did last year. So that's obviously on the Titans side. Their strong point is their defense. Obviously on offense, Cam Ward is struggling. That O-line is terrible in Tennessee, right? Tony Pollard is struggling a little bit. He's still scrapping together a solid flex floor, but ultimately these two teams, man, they're just really struggling to find their flow. So maybe one of them finds it this game or finds it against the other one, but I would temper my expectations because I would not like having any shares of any players on both these teams with the exception of Trey McBride.
Yeah, I would probably play Harrison too, but I'd be holding my breath.
I traded that fucker.
Hey man, I was so happy to see him get a touchdown last week because
I know
he looked checked out, dude. Remember when I texted the league? I said he looks checked out. He really did. Like you could feel the frustration. So I hope he has another big game. And you're wrong, but you could be right. And the thing is, I would probably start Harrison. I mean, you probably don't have a better option if you drafted him. And Trey McBride, yeah, I would definitely start him too, but Pollard maybe as a flex. And, Cardinals D is probably a good start. They're on waivers in a bunch of leagues, so you could probably grab them and plug and play.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. Good advice.